IWBY stepping back from my husband, 30M, after he refused to believe a female friend slapped my bum on a night out, leaving a print? I'm 35F, and I've been with my husband for 10 years, married for 4. Recently, a completely absurd situation ended up destroying my marriage. It all started on a Friday night. I went out to celebrate a friend's birthday, and early in the night, before I'd even had a single drink, I tripped over a drain cover in the street and ended up on all fours on the ground. In the middle of all the laughing, one of my friends ran up and gave my bum a massive slap. It was so loud it echoed through the street, and it hit so hard that both the slapper and the slappee were in absolute agony. We laughed it off, the night carried on, and I thought nothing more of it. To give you some context, I am on blood thinners, which means I mark and bruise extremely easily. On top of that, I was wearing a very thin dress with a thong underneath that night, an outfit my husband had actually chosen for me, which was a dynamic we always found sexy. Being on my hands and knees meant the fabric was stretched completely tight, offering zero protection. I got home around 1 a.m., and my husband was still awake in bed. I wanted to do a striptease for him, and as I let my dress drop, I stuck my bum out toward him. In that exact instant, he screamed at the top of his lungs, "What the fuck is that?" He jumped out of bed, got right in my face very aggressively, making me fall back onto the bed, and demanded to know who did it. I was stuttering from pure shock. It took me a couple of seconds to even realize what he meant until it clicked, and I told him about my friend Emily.
He didn't believe me.
He followed me into the bathroom, where I looked in the mirror and saw a perfect, definitive handprint on my cheek. We stood there arguing for over half an hour. I was freezing cold and completely naked, but every time I tried to leave, he blocked my way, accusing me of trying to run away. He kept saying a slap like that didn't sound like Emily at all because she's a very timid, quiet person. He also claimed the handprint was too big to be a woman's. I explained that Emily is nearly 6 feet tall and has huge hands, but he wouldn't hear it. Even rang Emily right then and there to corroborate my story. Distressed, she offered to come straight over to the house to put her hand over the print and prove it was hers, but my husband refused. He claimed we had all made up the story together and used the tallest friend as a scapegoat because she'd have the biggest hands. He searched my phone from top to bottom and found absolutely nothing. When I asked to look through his, he snapped, "No, I'm not the one on trial here." We spent the entire weekend having the exact same discussion, and I just didn't know what to do. Update 1 6 days later. Things escalated to a terrifying level this week, and I've officially told him I want a divorce. To clear up a few doubts from the comments, yes, I bruise easily due to blood thinners. Yes, the dress was paper thin with a thong underneath, so there was no barrier. And no, I wasn't drunk. I had 3 glasses of wine over the span of 6 hours. This week, my husband turned into an absolute monster. He refused to speak to any of my friends to clear the air. When I told him to look at the rip in my dress from the fall and my bloody knees, he had the audacity to say those scratches were from me being on my knees giving head to another man. He woke me up 3 times a night just to berate and insult me. He burned all of my going-out clothes and threatened to post intimate photos and videos online to show the world what a slag I am. On top of that, he put his hands on me, grabbing me twice and aggressively shoving me onto the sofa. That was the final straw. I told him to get the fuck out of my house. He has been unemployed for 6 months, has 0 savings, and has never contributed a single penny toward the mortgage or maintenance, as the house was mine long before I ever met him. He is getting absolutely nothing. I've already told my brother everything, and he is going to handle making sure my ex stays away. Update 2.5 weeks later. My ex is still out of the house, and I haven't heard a single word from him. I'm pretty sure that's because my brother and his friends went to pay him and his brothers a visit to set the record straight. Regardless, I decided to take major security precautions. I had powerful lighting and new security cameras installed all around the perimeter, and I changed every single lock. I know it sounds paranoid, but I even screwed my door's letterbox completely shut and put a mailbox outside because I was terrified he might try to pour something nasty through the door. I also switched my company car every couple of days just in case he managed to slip a tracker onto it. On a pettier note, I actually posted a picture on my Instagram recreating the scene on all fours with Emily putting her hand on my bum so we could laugh about it. Next week, I'm jetting off to Krakow for a vacation to completely clear my head from all this stress. The divorce proceedings are moving along smoothly. Update 3, over 2.5 months later. Everything was completely quiet for nearly 3 months. Not a word from him or his friends, the divorce was going perfectly, and I was genuinely moving on with my life. Until this past Tuesday night. I went out with a group of female friends to a local pub to watch the England football game. None of us were drinking since we all had work the next morning. We just wanted to soak up the atmosphere. About midway through the first half, I noticed my ex was in the pub accompanied by another woman. I decided to completely ignore him and didn't even mention it to my friends because I didn't want to ruin the night with awkward glances. The match ended up being incredibly boring, so we got ready to leave the second it was over. As we were walking out the exit door, everything turned into a literal horror movie. Out of nowhere, the friend standing right next to me dropped straight to the floor, and a glass bottle shattered against the ground. I spun around and there was my ex, standing right in the doorway of the pub. When he saw what he had done, he immediately turned around and ran back inside. The lunatic had thrown a bottle with full force directly at my head, but he missed and struck my friend instead. We called an ambulance and the police immediately. Thankfully, my friend wasn't knocked out, but she was deeply disoriented and ended up at the hospital with a concussion after getting several x-rays. The police arrested my ex right inside the pub. The coward actually admitted to the officers that he was aiming for me, but just had terrible aim. Right now, the situation is completely spinning out of control. My injured friend's husband is a pretty rough, tough type who is always getting into trouble at pubs, but he absolutely idolizes his wife. She is his entire world. He was in floods of tears at the hospital, and the moment we left, he went straight down to the police station to try and get his hands on my ex, ending up arrested himself for altering the peace. My ex is currently out on bail and seems to have gone into hiding, which is honestly the smartest thing he could do right now. Both my friend's husband and my brother are hunting high and low to give him what he deserves. I asked my brother to stay out of it, but he insisted on sleeping on my couch last night to protect me, which unfortunately meant I had to cancel a casual hookup I had lined up, but oh well. Seeing this whole thing reignite in such a psycho way only confirms that divorcing that man was the best decision I ever made. I hope he stays hidden forever.